Have you ever wondered what price disobedience might have? Imagine a tale from the Bible, that paints a vivid picture of the consequences of disobedience and the paramount importance of faith. A story that throws light upon a woman's defiance and the dramatic aftermath. A story that serves as a timeless reminder to us all. This is not just a story, but a life lesson, a parable from ancient times. Are you ready to embark on this journey? Let's delve into the intriguing tale of Lot's wife. The story of Lot's wife begins in the notorious cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. This tale takes us back to a time when these two cities were consumed by sin and immorality. In the midst of this lived a man named Lot, his wife, and their two daughters. They were the few righteous souls in a sea of wickedness, and as such, divine intervention was on its way. The heavens sent two angels disguised as men to warn Lot's family about the impending doom. They were told to flee the cities and seek refuge in the mountains. But the warning came with a specific instruction. As they fled, they must not look back. Not for a moment, not for a glance. The reason for this was not explained, but the command was clear and firm. In the dead of night, Lot's family hurriedly left their home. As they ran, the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were consumed in a storm of fire and brimstone, an eerie echo of the sin that had filled their streets. All the while, Lot's wife was running with her family, but something was gnawing at her. Perhaps it was the life they were leaving behind, or maybe it was curiosity, a human trait that often leads us astray. Whatever the reason, she made a fateful decision. Against the divine command, she turned and looked back. And in that moment she was transformed, not into a creature of myth or a beast of legend, but into a pillar of salt, a permanent fixture amidst the ruins of what was once her home. Her fate was sealed, not by the angels or by God, but by her own disobedience. In the grand scheme of the biblical narrative, Lot's wife is a relatively minor character. Her name is not even mentioned in the scriptures. And yet, her story carries a profound message. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of earthly attachment, of the perils of sin, and the consequences of disobedience. This story is not just about Lot's wife turning into a pillar of salt. It's about the choices we make and the consequences we must bear. It's about the importance of obedience, especially when it's difficult, and it's about the eternal values that should guide our lives. So Lot's wife, against divine command, looked back and was turned into a pillar of salt. A fascinating story, isn't it? But what are we to learn from it? The tale of Lot's wife is rich with timeless lessons that hold relevance even in our modern lives. It's not just a story, it's a life lesson etched in the annals of time, beckoning us to ponder and reflect. Foremost, the narrative underscores the dire consequences of disobedience. Lot's wife was explicitly commanded not to look back while fleeing the sinful cities, yet she succumbed to curiosity, an act of direct disobedience. The result was a transformation into a pillar of salt, a stark symbol of the repercussions that disobedience can bring about. Her fate serves as a constant reminder that obedience to divine commandments is not only a sign of faith but also a path to salvation. Beyond disobedience, Lot's wife's story warns us of the perils of materialism and earthly attachment. Her glance back at the burning cities perhaps reflected a longing for the worldly comforts and material possessions she had left behind. This longing proved to be her downfall. Isn't that a lesson we can all take to heart? In a world increasingly driven by materialistic pursuits, this story nudges us to reassess our attachments. It invites us to detach from the ephemeral and focus on the eternal instead. This leads us to the third lesson, the importance of prioritizing eternal values over worldly comforts. The story of Lot's wife reminds us that earthly comforts are fleeting and transient. What lasts is the spirit, the soul, our essence that transcends the physical. By prioritizing eternal values, love, kindness, humility, and faith, we build a legacy that withstands the test of time, much like the story we're discussing today. In essence, the story of Lot's wife is a mirror held up to our own lives, prompting us to examine our actions, intentions, and priorities. It's a call to obedience, a warning against materialism, and a plea for spiritual growth. The story of Lot's wife serves as a timeless reminder to prioritize faith and spiritual growth over worldly desires. So let's take a moment to reflect. Are we looking back or moving forward? Are we focused on the material or the eternal? The choice, like the lessons from this story, is ours to make. Now that we've explored the story and its lessons, it's time for some reflection. Consider the story of Lot's wife, a tale that holds up a mirror to our own lives. Many of us have experienced moments of temptation, moments when we've been drawn to look back at the past or to cling to the comforts of the world. Lot's wife serves as a profound reminder of the consequences of such earthly attachments. Ponder on this. How often do we, like Lot's wife, choose to look back instead of moving forward? How often do we prioritize material comforts over spiritual growth? The story of Lot's wife isn't just a tale from the past. It's a call to introspection, a call to reassess our own values and priorities. We invite you to reflect on these questions and to consider how you can apply the lessons from Lot's wife in your own life. Are there areas where you're looking back when you should be moving forward? Are there worldly comforts that you're clinging to that are inhibiting your spiritual growth? Engagement is a crucial part of reflection. We encourage you to share your thoughts, your reflections, and your own experiences. How has the story of Lot's wife resonated with you? What lessons have you taken from it? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And remember, every story from our past holds valuable lessons for our present and future.